Last December, actually, I was one of the first to build a clone using a PVC, which is professional voice clone. And I just got to give props to Anik because if you guys are here creating your clone, you're building the dream that I had over a year ago. And it's because of this amazing person who's like creating this vehicle for you guys to be here with us and just get inspired, because sometimes that's half the battle is like, well, I don't even know how to do this. So props to you, Anik, for being able to just do this and put this together. But back to the story. So last December 2024, I had no idea what this year would hold, but God knew. You know, it says he ordains our steps. We plan our ways, but he ordains our steps. And that's exactly what happened to me. In December, I created a clone, and my goal was we got to make this thing look like an extension of me. And we did it to the point where I actually fooled about 100,000 people on the channel and had them all believing it was the real me. And at the end of that video, this was last December 2024, at the end of that video, I said, rewatch this whole video because the last 30 seconds are the real me and the first 9 minutes that you watched are my clone. So the watch time on that video was insane because everybody went back and watched it again. And that was when we hit 100K on YouTube. And January 11th, 2025, I may get emotional because like the story, literally it's the first time I'm sharing it with such a group of people live. And January 11th was when my health completely crashed. I was in the hospital after a day where I felt like I was strong, fine. I was out hiking the mountains of Arizona. And that night I was in the hospital feeling like I was dying. I couldn't get my breath. I was turning blue. I was losing oxygen, but there was nothing that showed what was wrong except one factor. I was losing salt rapidly. 3 days later, I'm back in the ER, even worse. I was close to seizures, brain shut down, everything. No one knew what was wrong. And Jeff was watching this journey. He's like, Julia, we were praying for you. Like that was a lot of people. They were watching the journey as I was like, well, I got 5 IVs today. We don't know what's wrong. Can you guys be praying? And my online community was more of a friend. Like this whole year, I've learned like so much about just there's people that will pray for you. And then they're like, you don't have enough faith. And I was shocked to encounter that. And some of my internet friends were the ones that just kept praying. And it really amazed me to see that. But it was not until 4 months in that journey when I learned what actually happened to me. And it's still blows my mind. It was bioelectrical problems. It was Lyme. It was long COVID. It was adrenal failure. It was leaky gut. It was things I've never had my whole life. And when I dug into that, which I had to because I had no choice because every single doctor didn't know what was wrong with me. I was told it was in my head. And I, you know, being the entrepreneur, the researcher, the person I've been for 13 years, I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. And we did. And we found that frequency medicine was the answer. But let's go back to the clone. So in December, we launched the clone. It has the PVC trained on 2 hours of my audiobooks. The avatar was trained on me. And I was literally filming this while my heart was going into distress, which is why this is freaking emotional to talk about. My heart actually was going into AFib. And which should not happen to a 33-year-old. And when I was filming, I was in the Star Trek outfit that you all see, but no one knew what was actually happening. That clone and those little bits of training data is the reason I have a business. My business not only survived, but it's our first year at First Movers, and we are hitting 700,000 in gross revenue. So that's the entire reason. And we're about to hit 220,000 on YouTube. We have a roadmap to hit 1 million. And Anik is 100% on point with everything he shares. Because I like to say he was the first person I trained on this, because when he reached out to me, we hadn't even launched my labs. We had no school platform. We were burning money. My health was failing. Like, you talk about the scariest time you could ever go through. That was me in January and February. And that's when I connected with Anik. And it was amazing to be able to give him this loom that I created literally before my health crash and say, hey, go watch this. It's my secrets on cloning. And he did, and he applied it. And like, he's really brought this to the forefront, which was my dream. I was like, we need to teach people the power of avatars. But for me, it was a literal lifeline. It was the reason my business kept going when I couldn't. And you're watching me, it's December 9th. November was a month of radical healing. I fired every single doctor I had on November 1st, and I went all in on frequency medicine, which I'm now talking about on a new channel called Quantum Healing Mysteries. This stuff is real. You know, if you feel like your systems are off, well, we're in a trap in America where there are systems working against us and our health, and it's very much real. And it's been hidden from us for over a century. And discovering this when my health crashed, I don't think was an accident. And it's a new calling for me to be able to bring this to people. But, first movers and the clone is something that I absolutely love. It runs the show now. My clone, many of you know. If you know, please drop in the comments. If you know me as Dr. McCoy, it's amazing to see the community we've built around that clone and how people understand it's simply an extension of myself. It's not separate. It's not some other entity. It's not some AI creation. It is an actual extension of the living me and the knowledge base we've created, where every single script, every single video is from my brain, even when there were times my brain wasn't functioning. And I don't even know how that happened. That's the grace of God that scripts kept flowing. But that's the story in a nutshell. And I got to stop there because it's emotional to talk about this. Literally the second day I'm back in my office, the real me.